do it. All right, very simple. You know how to do it. You've downloaded Stars. All right, put it right there next to Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, Prime. All right, you've downloaded Stars. You downloaded Paramount Plus, so you know how to do it. All right, you can watch this on the big screen. Hell, run the big screen right, Mickey Ficky now. All right, now you can also tweet the show. You can tweet us at Sports Zone Shy, that's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online. You want to know what I did? Well, let me tell you what I did. You want to know what I did? Here's what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. If you want to follow my lovely co-host, Maya Akai, you can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at the Sports Chica. And if you want to follow her on Instagram because you're an IGer and you do it just for the gram, we'll just follow her at Maya_Akai. It's MAYA_AKAI. Man, we have a great show for you, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube, whether it's our mobile app, do me a favor, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up here on the thread. I'll put it up on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show. And that, my peoples, to all my peoples in the struggle, that is what makes this the best Chicago morning sports talk show is you. All right? So bring it all, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks. We want it all. Man, sorry, that CrossFit workout kicked my butt today, baby. Woo, Charlie. We want it all, baby. Like The Rock said, don't sing it, just bring it. Let's see who we got in the chat so far. Cornelius Squall's in the house. What up? Yeah, no joy in Mudville. We have a lot to talk about with that. Let me tell you, Lavette Lee, she's in the Mickey Ficky house. That is what I'm talking about. Thank you, Mama. I appreciate you tuning in. My man, Armando Emeterio, Lara Jr. What's up, Papa? Thanks for tuning in. Oh, man, it's rough one. James Ford. Thank you, Papa, for tuning in. I appreciate it. My man, Bellissimo from across the pond. I truly appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in. Good afternoon to you, sir. Man, Leo Factor in the Mickey Ficky house. Justin Fields did not have a bad game. I don't know what game that feels. Yeah, he didn't have a great game either. But a lot of it is a lot of his play calling. A lot of it is just I do know. And I was really happy to have my guy Mark with me. See, Mark was my fullback. I was the best man in his wedding, one of my best friends. And like we just talk football like on a different level. Like it's just weird. We were in a bar full of people yesterday. And it was just me and him. It was literally like there was no one else around. Like we're arguing and we're going back and forth. Like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? No, it doesn't make sense. Well, it's because of this. I'm like, oh, okay, I can see that. Because we talk football on a different level. Like everyone else is gone. Like it, like there's nothing there. Like we're arguing and we're yelling. Like what? I'm raising my voice because I'm fired up. He doesn't get too fired up. But it was crazy. It was good stuff, man. It was good stuff. Well, man, J2K, good morning, everyone. You're still speechless after the way we played yesterday. That was pathetic, but life goes on and on to the offseason. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that a little bit. Not a little bit, a lot of it. Let's talk about that. That's a key factor. I'm glad you brought J2K, Walls of Jericho. I'm glad you brought that up. My son Walls in the Mickey Figgy house. Good. House music Monday morning, baby. Still can't beat them damn cheeseheads. Yeah, we can't. Right? We can't. I lost a cigar. All right. I lost a cigar in this whole thing. From the smoke fella from Kevin Louder. See, but here's the thing. Kevin, and big shout out to Kevin and Damani and Ben, all the smoke fellas. Kevin will bet against the Bears every week. The Bears aren't going to win. Bears are going to win. Bears aren't going to win. So you're going to be right sometime. Sometime. I'm just saying. Man, Luis Mejia in the Mickey Ficky house. Rise and grind, Papa. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. The last offensive play call was that screen. 3rd and 20 something, whatever. 3rd and 13, 3rd and 20. Yeah, that was the last play call. Yeah, we'll dive in depth today about dealing with some of that, because that was just, yeah, yeah. So today, and let's not forget, tonight we have a big game as well. The national championship game tonight. All right. Hoo-wee. JJ McCarthy and the Michigan Wolverines take on Michael Penix Jr. and the Washington Huskies tonight. Look at this. Beautiful. I like all these. That's why I'm showing these to you. Down at H-Town. Down in Houston, baby. It's gonna be, I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to this. I'm extremely excited. You know, that game starts at 6:30. It's gonna be all over the four-letter network: ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN News, ESPNU, and AM 1000. A lot of ramifications with this. All right. Jim Harbaugh is coaching in what people think might be his last game at Michigan. So we're going to talk about that. The writing's on the wall. It's not difficult to see what he's going to do. All right. He's hired Don Yee, famed sports agent. Okay. Famed sports agent for NFL coaches. What does that mean? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. Big shout out. Yesterday was fun. I told you, me and my guy Mark met up at my spot, Output. My guy Eddie G was there. He showed up. It's good to see him. I hadn't seen him in a while. I also met Armando Lara Jr.'s son, my little nephew. Well, he's not even little. He's about 6'1", 6'2". But I met him. I'll put his buddy Nick. So all four of us. And then their buddy Stefan showed up. So we ordered the crow, 50 wings, potato wedges, and onion rings. And believe it or not, I know this sounds crazy. I didn't have one drink. Not one drink at all. Not even a shot. And you know what helped? Well, I wasn't going to have a drink anyway. I wasn't feeling it. My guy Eddie is doing a dry January. So see, if Eddie was drinking, he would have got us all shots. That's how Eddie does. Like, just get around shots over here. Just get around shots. Round of shots. So that helped. And then a couple times, they asked me, "You want something to drink?" "No, I'm good. Like, all right, you're not drinking? Are you on? It's not that I'm not drinking. I just today I'm not drinking. So I wanted to be of clear mind watching the Bears. Okay. But anyway, big shout out to my guy Eddie G over at Output. Big shout out to Armando Emeterio Lara the third, or as his dad likes to call him, the turd. It was cool hanging out with him yesterday. Man, he's a great kid, man. Great young man. Well, he's not even young. I guess he's young, but still, like 27. Dude, that's crazy. The fact is, I've known him since he was in his mom's belly. That's how long. So it was a little weird, but it's good hanging out with him, hanging out with my guys, Mark, and obviously the usual suspects over at Output. Shout out to DJ Kuko, Efrain Pagan. Great stuff. He was snapping yesterday. Oh, the audio was acting a little crazy. I don't know if it was his fault or what, but still. Anyway, yeah, I'm I have a lot to say. I have a lot to say. I really do. And it's unfortunate that the way it went down, I guess to me that was the issue. You know, that was the issue. So, and unfortunately today I just got a text. I got a text early this morning. Eric couldn't make it or can't make it today, so he'll be on Wednesday. Yeah, he'll be on Wednesday, and that hurt because I was really looking forward to talking to Eric today. Right, where the wounds are still fresh. Um, the wounds are still fresh. And so I don't know, but he'll be here on Wednesday, so we could talk to him. We will talk to him then. Um, it's going to be interesting what he has to say because I have a lot to say, and you know, and I'm sitting here, and the thing that really bugs me, is how can I put it? The ignorance of people. All right. By ignorance, I mean not knowing. Okay. That's what I mean by ignorance. Not someone being ignorant and being stupid, but the ignorance of not knowing. And the ignorance of people in large numbers. You know, what's interesting is I studied sociology. I was an accounting major, economics accounting, when I got to Holy Cross, and I wanted to do that because I wanted to be accountant like my uncle John. And I realized, yeah, accounting isn't for me. It just seemed too boring, and if that's what you do, cool. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, for me, it was boring. So I went into sociology. So for those of you who don't know, sociology is a study of people in large numbers. You study masses. So you study, and the reason I did that was growing up, I was not in a gang, but I had cousins who were, and that was literally the main reason. I wanted to understand or try and figure out why some of them were. Some of my cousins were in gangs, and I wasn't. So, and seeing that, like, it just everybody's talking about. So let's talk about it, right? Everybody's talking about Jordan Love and how well he looked. Okay, and he did, through 300 yards, a couple tutties, 128 point something, almost a 129 quarterback rating, and it looked great. Okay, and people say, well, get rid of. And people are saying, well, I want that quarterback. I want that. Alex Brown said it yesterday. I want that quarterback. And everyone's like, get rid of Fields. He's this. He's that. He's done. Yeah. But you sit there and in one breath, you say, Jordan Love looked great. Jordan Love looked great. And on the other side of your mouth, you're saying, get rid of Justin Fields. Justin Fields sucks. He's typical Justin Fields. And I sit there and people don't even realize how contradictory they're being. Because you have to look at everything. All right, Jordan Love came and he sat for 2 seasons. He sat for 2 seasons in the same offense. 2 seasons. Okay. Sat behind a Hall of Famer. So it was working with Matt LaFleur the whole time. I mean, it was Nathaniel Hackett. It was, no, wasn't Nathaniel. Yeah, Nathaniel Hackett hadn't gotten there. I mean, hadn't been promoted yet. I don't believe. Maybe he was. But anyway, you talk about the same system that you sit and develop for 2 years while watching a Hall of Fame quarterback. And then you look at Justin Fields and has no help from the coaching standpoint, from a development standpoint. And you sit there and you're saying, this guy sucks. But see, what you don't understand, what people don't understand is coaching is teaching. And if they don't learn the way that you teach, then you better teach the way that they learn. And the problem with that is, and I've said this plenty of times, look at Brock Purdy. You mean to tell me if you put Justin Fields in that San Francisco offense, that offense wouldn't be even more intimidating? Yeah, it would. Because of the physical traits. Now, when people say, "Well, trade him, he's not consistent." Well, here's my thing with that. You're coached to do things. Okay, we're coached. It's in football. Everything is, man. You heard me talk about it's either being coached or allowed. You've heard me say that plenty of times. And if you're coaching someone and you're giving them poor fundamentals, you're allowing them to have poor fundamentals, you're not being efficient with, we'll just talk offensive coordinators, and you're not being efficient with route combos. You know, people, and this is why I can't talk football with everybody. Because if I say you don't make the routes with the protection, do you understand what I mean? And can you give me an example? Don't just say I understand. See that we're sitting there yesterday and I'm like, no wonder we're losing. No wonder we're getting our ass kicked. All right, there are situations, okay? What Green Bay did was smart. And this is like, I wonder why, like, how do they get all the smart coaches and our coaches suck? So Green Bay said, let's give them a 5-man pressure. It means we cover everybody on the line. Why would they do that? Why would you give them a 5-man pressure, a 5-man front every single time? Well, I'll tell you why. Because you're playing with a third string center. You're playing Feeney, Dwight Feeney or Doug Feeney, whatever. Started. Lucas Patrick had been playing like crap to begin with, but he was out. And Feeney came in. Yeah, let's go attack their weak link. And then no one accounted for Tevin Jenkins choosing to have his worst game of the season. And you know what? Fine. I get it. If you're Green Bay and you do that, cool. What adjustments did the Bears make? None. Did they keep backs in? Did they max protect? No, they're still in 11 personnel. Like, why would you do that? You know, you're going empty. Why would you do that? They got 5-on-5, and you got a center, and Tevin Jenkins having a shit day. Like, you have to understand, not only do you coach fundamentals, you have to get a feel of the game. Every game is different. Every game that you play as a coach, and I'm telling you, from a running back, me being a running back coach, me being a quarterback and receivers coach, me being a linebackers coach, me being a defensive coordinator, every game you have to go by feel. You have to go by how that game develops, which is why if you're not in the box, you need to pay attention to what's going on. You saw that the Bears were having problems. You saw that Tevin Jenkins had the worst game probably in his career. So why are you leaving them on islands? Why are you doing that? This is why I said Getsy has to go. and I believe it's a foregone conclusion, but I'm just literally putting the nail in the coffin. You can't have 5-man protection on a day when you have a new center, on a day when one of your studs is having the shittiest game of his life in Tevin Jenkins. You saw, if you follow me, I tweeted it, I posted it on Facebook. I'm like, if you're having outside leverage, a D tackle on outside leverage, he crosses your face, what's happening? You got to expect a stunt. That's high school shit. You got to expect a stunt. So he's blocking. Here comes another guy around him. Oh, shit. Sorry, Justin. Like, really? Like, you block him, but once he crosses your face, you feel him. And where your eyes go, there's someone else coming from the other side. The place he's going, they're not going to send two guys to the same gap. They're not going to send two guys to the A gap on defense. They're not. That's rule 101. Everyone's got a gap. Not two guys in one. So where are our adjustments? And they went man a lot. So why are we doing hitches? Why are we running hitches? Why are we running hitches? Where are the God blessed slants? We're sitting at the bar yesterday. We're watching the pressure being put on by Green Bay, and we see our receivers running hitch routes. Hitch routes versus man. Cornelius, thank you. When Nate Davis went down, he was having a shit day too. Why didn't you put Tevin back to right guard and Cody Whitehair at left guard? No, that wasn't a slant. I don't think if you're talking about the one to the left and he ran up the sideline, that was pick play. That was a pick play. It was twins. Be nice. What's up, baby? Hey, did you see my Facebook post? Next year we're going out to the Bay Area, or not next year, next season, this year. Going out to the Bay Area, baby. We're facing the 49ers. Once the date is set, I'm getting my plane ticket. Taking my plane ticket. So be nice, all right? Brandon Levinson calling from the left coast, from the Bay Area. So, Leo, I think if that's the one you're talking about, it was a pick play. It was a 3-by-1. 3-by-1. The two inside guys went up. DJ Moore comes underneath. The guy covering him gets caught in a wash, the whole nine. Catches it, runs up the sideline for like 25, 30 yards. And I'm like, thank you. Thank you. Where has this play calling been? Like, where have those calls been all year? Then you don't go back to it. Do it. How do you? So you're running hitches in man. You're not using the rub routes, the picks, the mesh concept that is prevalent in this offense that you're running, but we don't use them. And you're having these receivers run intermediate to deep routes when your offensive line can't protect. You're having these guys, you're putting each guy on an island because all were covered up. They brought 5. And then you go empty? Intermediate, deep routes? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing as an offensive coordinator? Like, you can't, you're asking Justin to, so, and then people are like, well, Justin holds the ball too long. throw the ball. Where the fuck's he supposed to throw it? Throw it out of bounds? Okay. But that's coaching. That's coaching. That's coaching. That you have to say when there's something happening and there's nobody open. They haven't developed their routes. I called this a crappy play call. I didn't marry the routes to the protection. And you have pressure. If you can't run, throw that sucker out of bounds. And harp on it every single day in practice. Every single day. Just like you harped on him staying in a God-blessed pocket to win games. And took away his legs for most of the season. You know, you harped on it like that. Harp on other things. You know, this is why I say Lou Getsy has to be gone. And this is why, like I said, I'm talking football on a different level. Twin 129. Hey, Papa, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. This is my first time seeing you here. Thank you for checking us out. I appreciate it. I think the Bears are going to stall, see what Harbaugh's going to do after tonight. Then they'll make the move. I agree completely. And I also think Greg Roman's going to wait too. I think Greg Roman can come in and be his offensive coordinator who will work hands daily with Dustin. Harbaugh calling the plays. But I'm talking about marrying the routes to the protection. Like you can't, when your offensive line is having a bad day, and they were, you can't ask your wide receivers to run intermediate to deep routes and expect the quarterback to be okay. It doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Then they go second and 2, and they do some dumb cutesy shit. I'm like, stop it. We just talked about this last week, 2 weeks ago. We just talked about this. It was a talk of the town, talk of Chicago. Stop with the bullshit, cute, short yardage plays. Stop it. Like it's so, man. I was livid. Me and my guy Mark. That's what I love. I love talking football with football people, and it's no disrespect to other people. It's just we've played it at a high level. We've coached it at a high level, so our conversations are just different. And I'm seeing all these things, and I'm like, wait a minute. You get the running back Khalil Herbert out on a pass one time. He goes up the sideline for 27 yards. Don't run it again. Do you realize you threw the ball 16 times? Now, I get it. You want to attack that run, their run defense. Okay, then let's attack it. Where was the fullback? Like, I don't care if they know a run's coming. There's so many things you can do with a fullback. You can lead him up the hole. Have him lead up the hole, excuse me. You can leak him out to the backfield, leak him out to the flat. There's so many different things you can do. He can fill for a guard, put him in motion. Like, man, my Mark would go in motion sometimes. I'd be in the I formation. He would go in motion, boom, come here. Or the best was he go, so we're running a lead right. He go in motion. Down, set. He go in motion to the right, lead up the hole. Then we're like, let's start playing with some people. He'd start right and then come back left. Because I'm still in the eye. So I haven't gone anywhere. So the quarterback turns around and Mark cuts right behind him. And these are all things you can do with a fullback. Or you can, but actually you couldn't because you're playing with a shitty center. Playing with your third string center. Yeah, come on, Steve-O. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, Shawn, sorry, my camera's broken.
What?
When you look this good, you break many cameras. I'm used to it. With what you were talking about never going back to a play. Now, this one wasn't successful, but if you had a coach with any kind of darn on the offensive staff, they'd have saw something. It's the one where Justin faked the handoff and then started to boot. And that linebacker, I forget which one it was. It was the outside backer who was in coverage, supposed to be in coverage, but he on the play action. He came in for the play action and then sacked Justin. An offensive staff's got to see that, run that play again, because that's your hot route. That dude is spying in the backfield and totally giving up on the pass protection.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he was over Komet, who was in that tight split. He wasn't on the end of the line, but he was, just off. And he totally let him go when he saw the fake handoff. Now, it was a really crappy call because it was a fake handoff, and boot. It was not run well, but you got to see that and be like, oh, well, okay, here's that play again, and just nail Komet when that guy flies in.
And they have to see that from up top. And they have to say, okay, here's what you got to do. All right, here's what you're seeing.
The whole offensive staff's got to be somewhat incompetent.
Yeah. Yeah. We were talking RPOs.
Right, exactly. When you were talking about that, I'm like, oh, I got one.
RPOs, they had a running back on the left. RPO, whoop. Justin keeps it, goes to the left. Well, they started bringing a spy. Well, number 7 was the spy yesterday. This was starting last week. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, wait a minute. If you have a spy, that means you're taking one guy out of coverage. How about this? How about you throw right behind the spy? Crazy idea. Crazy. So the running back goes, you pull in, and Justin goes to the left. Spy steps up. There's a vacancy. Boop. I'll throw it right behind the spy. I don't know. Call me crazy. Well, listen, let me take a really, really quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to switch gears. We'll get back to more Bears talk about 10:15. But we're going to bring my guy David Kenyon on because there's another big game tonight. I'm fired up about it. I'm excited. Actually, I think I'm going to go to the bar again tonight and see. Unless someone invites me over, I'll go to their house. Big game tonight. The Natty tonight, baby. So my guy caller is joining us from the H-Town. Knocking in boots. Sorry. I hope some might not even know what that means. That was the name of the group that song Knocking the Boots was H-Town because they're from Houston. Hate to break it to you. But anyway, let's take a quick break. And we'll be back with David Kenyon talking national championship game tonight. So keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness, so find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Brian Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face. Ugly.
As Lambeau is rocking at the start. Here's Fields trying to break free. He does and picks up the first. They had him.
They need to step up today.
2nd and 6 on the bootleg. Planting, firing. Boy, he threaded that one. That was some pass to DJ Moore.
Doing it the right way.
Now on 1st down. He fakes it to Herbert. Throws, and again he connects. This time he's got St. Brown. 3rd and 5. 11th play of the drive. And there's Love in trouble. Wrapped up back at the 25-yard line. Here's Fields. And it's caught.
That was really well said right there. Made that simple.
1st and 10. Here is Moore. Oh, that was horse collar-like.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of CBS. Man, that was a rough one yesterday. But help could be coming. The cavalry could be coming. Jim Harbaugh plays tonight. I shouldn't say plays. His playing days are over. Coaches tonight. He's coaching in the national championship game. His Michigan Wolverines are going up against the Washington Huskies. The Wolverines versus the Dogs. And there's speculation. It's kind of simple to tell, but there's speculation that he'll be leaving Michigan to go to the NFL as he's hired renowned sport agent, NFL head coaching agent, Don Yee. It seems like it's just like a matter of time. But he's got unfinished business first. His job first, he wanted to get Michigan back to prominence. Well, you win a national championship, you're pretty much back to prominence. It doesn't get any better than that at Michigan. So my next guest is a good friend of the program, and I'm excited to have him here talking with us. He's a college football writer for Bleacher Report. You can find him on Twitter at Kenyon19_BR. Guys, just welcome back to Shawn and Maya, David Kenyon. David, from the H-Town. Good morning, Papa. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, you bet. It's a nice, ugly morning, so it's a good thing that there's a dome on this stadium because otherwise it'd be a pretty gross day, I think. But excited to be here. Been a fun weekend, but very much time for the game. Good.
I'm excited for it as well. I know a lot of people are. It's a huge game. Number 1, undefeated Michigan versus number 2. Undefeated Washington, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
What they? Yeah. It's a perfect matchup. Let's go back to the semis. David, I have to be honest. I did not think Michigan had a chance against Alabama. I thought Alabama was going to out-athlete them at some point. And at the start of the second half, holy cow. I was like, here they come. And I felt it. And Michigan said, hold on. We got this. Took us to overtime. unbelievable. Your thoughts on that semifinal game, Michigan, Alabama?
I generally thought the same thing. I just thought in the second half in particular, because we've seen Saban, they go into halftime. They're really good coaches. They
Yes,
adjust
they are.
for a reason, and so it did. They were down, was it, I think 3, and then they just controlled Michigan. My concern with McCarthy was he hadn't seen a defense like that beyond one time against Penn State, and Michigan's offensive line was so good, they didn't even throw in the second half. And then Ohio State, he did, he was solid, but he wasn't fantastic. And so I was concerned that with Alabama, they were just going to make him, pretty much ineffective. And generally speaking, he was. But, when it came down to it, they had that 4th and 2, got Corum into the flat. He gets a 30-yard gain or so. And then that last drive was a clinic from Michigan's coaching staff, and then they make the play in overtime. I will say when it went to overtime, I thought if Alabama scores, I think they better go for 2, because I don't think you want to go toe-to-toe with this defense in overtime. And unfortunately for them, it didn't happen. Michigan just did what they did all year and played so well defensively when it mattered, and boom, here we are.
Dude, I'm telling you, I wanted Michigan. All right. JJ McCarthy's from the area. One of my former teammates is actually his quarterback coach. We played ball together. So there's a lot of little local, and Jim Harbaugh obviously was drafted here, played here. So I wanted Michigan to win. Alabama was just going to dog walk them. And my biggest concern, though, David, was after the impressive first half, 5 sacks in the first half, they're only up by 3. That's what got me. I'm like, damn, they're only all that phenomenal first half, and you're up by 3. I said, if these guys, if they turn it on, it could get ugly quick. And you know what? Michigan, the fortitude to withstand that blow and come back, tie it. Talk to me about that. Your thoughts on JJ McCarthy, the way he led them down. That's impressive. That's extremely, extremely impressive by that young man.
Yeah, I think his development this year has been really, really interesting, because you know how when Trubisky was with the Bears, it was couldn't throw left, right? And JJ McCarthy was kind of if he throws late to the right, it's trouble. That was one of the pick sixes that TCU had last year in the semifinal. It was just like he was lacking a little bit of velocity in those cross field throws. Just because you're throwing it 10 yards doesn't mean you're not throwing it about 40 or 50 yards sometimes. Yeah. And he just didn't have that snap, it seemed like. And this year he has. And so that's been what's really important for Michigan, where it's not just he can make every throw. Pretty much every quarterback can make almost every throw. It's just that now those really long, short throws, they just look better. And for Michigan, that's so important because they're going to run the ball. They want to control the clock, just own the possession. And this year, nobody has been able to do anything remotely close to stopping them except for Alabama in one half.
Yeah. JJ McCarthy is a great story, but what's even a greater story is that run game. Blake Corum. I read his story. His going to, getting to high school a couple hours a day, to and from. Always busy, manual labor with his parents, his landscaping business, I want to say. And the blue collar attitude of his offensive line. Talk to me about that and how that could be a huge help for Michigan to hoist that trophy after tonight.
I mean, that's the key for Michigan, because you don't want to get into a shootout with Washington. Michigan is capable of keeping up, but that's not the game they want to play. So Washington's defensive line and linebackers are good, but Texas ran all over them. And if Michigan is just sticking to that tonight and does it effectively, obviously that's always the key, but if they do it effectively, I'm taking Michigan in this every day of the week because Washington's super talented. They're going to score, 24 points or so. But if Michigan just kind of runs it down on them and they don't give Washington, 12 possessions or so, Michigan's going to be fine because their offensive line is just so much better than what Washington has seen all season. And I mean, it's a Joe Moore Award-winning group, basically, without the trophy. Even without Zach Zinter, All-American guard, Washington's just going to have a problem with that Michigan front. And then you put in Corum, and then they can rotate in Donovan Edwards if needed. J.J. McCarthy showed a little bit more with his legs last game. He's kind of waiting for it all season. We know he can do it. You watched him in high school. I watched him in high school. And so there's just too much that Michigan's offensive line can do. And Washington is, in my opinion, simply not going to be able to handle that. It's just that their offense is so good and is going to keep up with Michigan in that way.
Guys, we're talking to David Kenyon from Bleacher Report, college football writer for Bleacher Report, talking the Natty, the national championship game tonight. It's going to be all over the four-letter network, ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, ESPN News, AM 1000, it's ESPN radio station out here in Chicago. Make sure you check it out tonight. Michael Penix Jr. is an interesting story. University of Indiana, or IU, Indiana University. A very injury-plagued career. Wasn't it 3 or 4 of his seasons ended in injury at Indiana? And he transfers, goes there, and all of a sudden, I don't know if it's the great Pacific Northwest air that he's breathing, but he hasn't really gotten hurt, and he's throwing the hell out of that football. What happened when he went up there to Washington?
Yeah, I mean, we watched him, at IU, and I think part of the excitement around him can be attributed to Kalen DeBoer. He was the offensive coordinator at IU in Penix's freshman season. And then so he goes off to bigger and better, climbing the coaching ladder. And Penix was still fun. That 2020 season for IU, the 9-win Indiana kind of charge, that was fun to follow. And they had some good receivers early on. Nick Westbrook was there at the time. But this receiving corps in Washington, I mean, holy cow. It was kind of funny just talking to one of Michigan's co-defensive coordinators. And a reporter came up with a question. He's like, Washington's receiving corps is almost better than some in the NFL. And he just
almost
all right, hold on. Not quite. He's like, well, I mean, I don't think it's that level, but no, they're really good. It's just really funny trying to walk that back a little bit. But by far, this is the best receiving corps in college football. No question. We thought Ohio State was going to have a charge at that this year, and they just didn't quite. Holy cow. Washington's receivers are incredible. Got a really solid line. The offense is predicated, though, on getting the ball out so quickly, and Penix is just a master of that. He's got the system down to a T for sure. What that says about his pro future, I'm sure we'll talk about that eventually down the road here over these next couple months. But, I mean, he's just so good at getting the ball out quickly, and then his deep ball touch. Holy cow. Is there anybody else, maybe other than Drake May, who can throw it deep as well as Penix? I mean, he just has such a good command of how hard he needs to throw it. And like we saw against Texas, that dude can throw some dimes down the middle of the field. And that's a huge value for Washington tonight.
It is, and I'm excited to see that. And you talked about the best receiving core. Let's talk about the number one receiver, Romeo Odunze. This kid is wow. I had not seen him. Okay, he's in the left coast, so oftentimes he's playing later. Okay, so I hadn't seen him. I'd heard about him. I'd read about him, and seen videos and highlights. And you can't really, yeah, highlights are nice, but you have to, I need to see a whole game. I don't need, we all can make highlight tape. Watching him in the semis, this dude is extremely, extremely explosive. But not just that. Well, we got guys at the Bears that are explosive. Velus Jones is explosive. But he's got this aura, this attitude about him. Like when he catches the ball, he's on a mission. He's not running track anymore. He's on a mission. Talk to me about his desire, the way this dude plays. He gets it. He's a football player who just happens to be lightning fast.
Yeah, the way I would describe him is he's receiver smart too. He just has such a good feeling for the game that, it's the find the pocket in the zone, but do it the right way kind of thing, where it's not just, I need to know I generally need to be in this area. It's so precise. And yeah, like you said, after he gets the ball, he's not just looking to dance a little bit and gain a few yards. He's going to run you over first and then take you down the field with his speed. And we've seen it all season. Break a tackle, go. Break a tackle, go. Break a tackle, go. That's why he's got 1,500 yards or whatever it is right now. I mean, he's incredible. I'm excited to see what he does in the pros too. But tonight, I'm wondering if Michigan is going to stick Will Johnson on him. He's a 6'2" corner. He's awesome. He was a 5-star coming out. He's lived up to every bit of it. That would be a fun matchup to watch with Odunze and Will Johnson.
Yeah, it will. And I'm hoping for a good game. I want to see Washington say, okay, let's light it up. And I want to see Michigan say, no, let's slow it down. I want to beat you up. I'm going to give you body blows after body blows. And I want Washington to say, no. We're going to dance around and we're going to try and run up and down the field on you. And that is the dance. That's the fun part. Who can establish their will, especially on offense, more? Do you think Michigan has a really good defense that Washington will be able to withstand this defense? They got a phenomenal front, and if you're playing, press coverage, the ball may not come out as quickly. And if it doesn't come out as quickly, that gives that defensive line of Michigan a chance. And we saw how violent and disruptive they could be in the first half against Alabama. Does Washington have the offensive line to deal with that type of barrage?
As far as running the ball, I'm not convinced that Washington is going to run the ball with really any success today. Dylan Johnson is supposed to play, but I mean, if he's kind of hobbled, because I mean, you could see how much pain he was in at the end of that Texas game. I don't think Washington's going to run the ball at all, really. So that's simply the biggest question for me. Agreed. That can Washington's passing game do it? Can they get the ball out quick? Can they beat the press coverage? Can they also beat the disguises that Jesse Minter is going to throw at them? Because they might be up at the line and they're expecting press, but it might turn into zone really quick. But if you're trying to get the ball out quick and you're expecting press, and then all of a sudden you've got, that vertical or, the drag or whatever that you're expecting to get open right away, but they back off in zone. Penix is super smart. I'm not saying he can't handle that, but that's the game within the game, right? And so if he's able to do that, yeah, I think Washington's going to stick around. I just think Michigan's running game is going to control the day. So Washington's going to have to score 30 is my guess. And they're capable of doing it. Obviously, we've seen them do it for most of the season. But, yeah, I hear you.
One of the biggest things that people are expecting, and I said it just before I went to break, kind of teased it, that Jim Harbaugh will be leaving Michigan. All right, you still have the whole sign stealing scandal. You have JJ McCarthy, most likely going pro. If they is it win or lose? He's gotten Michigan back to prominence, got him to the national championship game. Your thoughts on, is he staying, and where do you think he would land, and what would be a good landing spot for him if he goes to the NFL, goes back or comes back to the NFL?
So the running joke I've had here is Michigan wins tonight. He's going to go on the stage, flip the double birds, and announce his NFL destination. Like, he's so done. He's so done. The only reason I could see him stay is they lose tonight, and McCarthy says, I want to be back, but I'm only coming back if you are here. Okay, understood. But, I mean, you can tell. Harbaugh wants another shot. He's got Michigan back to where he wanted to, minus one win. But if they win tonight, he's gone. Michigan builds him a statue, and Harbaugh is gone. Because this is what he wanted to do. Yeah. You know, once he gets run out of a place in San Francisco that he was awesome in, you can tell, you can see, you can hear when he is talking about the NFL, it's just unfinished business for him, and he wants that shot. So from that perspective of, if he comes back, he takes Michigan to 3 Big Ten titles, he wins a national championship. What more does he have to prove here? And his time is finite with the NFL at this point. Like, he can't keep doing the song and dance. He knows it. And like you mentioned earlier, hire Don Yee. So it's just more and more pointing to he's going to take that shot at the NFL. As far as where he lands, it's Chargers or Bears, in my opinion. I think if you're Kevin Warren with the Bears, you have to make him say no first. You know, I don't even think it's money necessarily. Harbaugh's got plenty of money. Obviously, he's going to try to get the most possible. But it's just a question of, does he want to Michigan the NFL, or does he want the best shot at winning in the NFL? Because if he wants to be the hometown hero kind of thing, again, Chicago. If he wants that best shot, go where the quarterback is, right? And that's LA with the Chargers. Obviously, Chicago has that chance at a quarterback, but is he more convinced that Justin Herbert is not as good as what Drake May or Caleb Williams can become? But it's kind of like that Family Guy sketch I always think of, where they're like, you can have a boat or you can have this box. And then Peter Griffin is like, wow, I'll take the box. It could even be a boat. And so it's like, do you take the thing that's there, or do you take the thing that you hope might become something else? I'm taking Herbert. That's my personal opinion. But like I said, if he has that feel of, I want to do this again, I want to elevate what I am, my personality as Jim Harbaugh is, you know, Colts, Bears, and Michigan, right? And so if he wants to do that, he's going to Chicago. But otherwise, I'd go to LA.
It's interesting. Okay. My thought. So give me your thoughts on, because now if Jim Harbaugh comes to Chicago, okay, has a chance with Justin Fields, or he can have a chance with a new coach, with a new quarterback. All right. He already knows what Justin Fields is. He knows how good Justin Fields can be. He lost to him twice. Okay, he lost to him. So he understands, but he also sees that his potential hasn't been maximized in the pros. Offensive coordinators have bigger egos in most cases than even the players. How much do you think he likes that challenge? Say, hold on, let me unlock this guy. Because if he wins with, I know it's Ohio State guy, Michigan, Ohio State, you know, there's that oil. It's like us in that team up north that we lost to yesterday, but I digress. Don't get me started. If he's able to do that, how fulfilling would it be for him? Because now he can say, look what I did. I won a national championship with Michigan. and I won a Super Bowl with a quarterback that no one could get the best out of. You think he may, if he comes to Chicago, may want to, or would just come to Chicago because of Justin Fields?
It's a fair question. I don't think that would be a driving force because he has the rare position of clearly Fields has not been maximized. Like we saw it for a half a season in 22 where he was getting closer to that. I don't think his ego, while immensely large for sure, is so insistent on I'm going to unlock Justin Fields. I mean, we'll find out. He might prove me wrong, accept the Bears job next week and say, we're keeping him, but he wants the best case situation. That might be Caleb Williams or Drake May. It might be Justin Fields, might be Justin Herbert, but I don't think that would drive him. But if he also feels Justin Fields is the best fit for his long-term future, his potential long-term success, yeah, he would be excited about that. Yeah, you couldn't get the best out of him for 3 years, but look what I did. Absolutely. That's a competitor for sure.
Yeah, well, from your lips to God's ears, because I went on a little rant earlier just talking about the importance of coaching and how people can, out of one side of their mouth, say, wow, Jordan Love's look awesome, and then the other side, well, Justin Fields looks like shit. And like, well, wait a minute. Jordan Love has been in the same system for 3 years. All right, he sat behind a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's got good coaching from LaFleur, and Justin has had Matt Nagy, Bill Lazor, and now Lou Getsy. Where's the difference here? Where could there be? Where's the disconnect here? Let me see. Oh yeah, by the way, Justin got sacked 9 times his rookie year in one game. Like, come on, you know what I mean? Like, you can't sit there and talk about the coach, this quarterback, and and say how awesome he is when he's got great coaching, and on the other side of your mouth say, well, this quarterback sucks, and realize he's had terrible coaching, terrible help. So it's interesting. Just real quick, if you're the GM for the Bears, what would you do? Would you move on, keep Justin, build around him, get a haul, or say, no, I'm going to get Caleb or Drake with the number 1 pick?
Yeah, leave it up to me. I'm taking a quarterback and trading Fields. And I like Fields. Like, I very much am a Fields fan. I think, like you said, the coaching has done him so wrong for several years. The offensive line has been so bad every season so far. The challenge with me, for me, is, do you think Justin Fields at his peak is better than Williams or May at their peak? And I don't think that answer is yes. And after next season, Chicago has to figure out whether they're paying Fields.
No, after next season. You mean after 24, this season coming up, or after 25?
After 24, because that 5th-year option will come up. And so by that point, you have to figure out the extension. And at least for me, I'm taking the younger guy who I think can at least match what Fields is going to be, and you have him cheaper for 3 more seasons than you have Fields. So that's where I would go. But like I said, I like Fields. I think if somebody like Harbaugh was to come in, you're going to see sweeping changes. But if they bring back Getsy, I don't think Fields maximizes his potential either. So it's kind of from my perspective, a lose-lose as far as the quarterback discussion, because either everybody's coming back and Fields doesn't get there, or nobody's coming back. That's my perception. I could be wrong, but that's my perception of what's going to happen.
Okay. Yeah, I think Getsy's gone. I think Eberflus, and after yesterday's game, though, I feel less certain about Eberflus. His defense got run all over. All right, 300 yards. All right, from Love, 100 on the ground from what's not Dylan. 33. Anyway, 100 yards on the ground. All right. And it's like, and we're the number one rushing defense in the league. All right. Number one, numero uno, the best. That gave me some pause for concern. Yeah, I think if Getsy, I mean, if Eberflus does stay, they're going to have to say, hey, he can't keep Getsy. There's no way. There's just literally no way, because the lack. And I'm sitting there with a buddy of mine, and I'm watching this, and I'm breaking this down. Like, what kind of route concepts are this? Why? I'm like, the routes are not married to the protection. All right, there's no adjustments. I'm like, this is crazy. Like, you've had 2 years to do this now. Like, these are all things that should be done. So I don't know. Anyway, hey, David, great stuff, buddy. I appreciate it. All right. Do me a favor before you go. Let everyone know where they can find you and your work online.
You find it all on Bleacher Report. Search my name, Bleacher Report. I'll have something after the game tonight. Looking forward to it. But everything I do is there on Bleacher Report, college football, NFL. So check me out. Follow me on Twitter. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Awesome,
Thanks for
buddy.
having me, Shawn.
Have fun down in H-Town. Thanks. Guys, that's David Kenyon from Bleacher Report. Man, crazy. I'm excited. This game's going to be fun. Can the strength and power of Michigan overcome the, I don't want to say finesse, but the high scoring, the high octane offense of Washington? That's going to be a fun game to find out. Strength versus speed. Strength versus speed. That's, whew, I like it. I like it a lot. It's going to be a good one. And then afterwards, and that's funny how he said he gives them the two birds. Jim Harbaugh comes up after he wins it, gives them the double bird, and then bounces. I'm out. Oh man, we got some new people in the chat. Mr. Shorty's in the house. Good morning, Baba. Be smooth. Brian Hendren in the house. I got Be Nice out on the left coast. Be smooth. I got Brian there. There's a couple other people I saw. I want to make sure I want to say hi to. There you go. I said hi to Brandon. I said hi to Luis. Arturo, Baba. Yes, man. Let me say real quick before we go. Yes, no one slant, no crossers. It was horrible. You're going against man. And they're not doing all this stuff. Oh. I get it. So listen, we're going to talk more Bears on the other side of this break. We're going to take a quick break. All right, we're going to talk Bears on the other side of it. And so don't go anywhere. Do me a favor. All right? Get some questions ready. And put them in the chat. We'll talk about it. We'll get these questions answered because I'm excited. I want your thoughts. All right, your thoughts. What are you looking for in this offseason? And I know a lot of people have asked the same question, but what are you looking for? What do you want? Do you want Harbaugh? Are you okay with Eberflus coming back? Do you want Getsy back to keep it for continuity? Or are you done with Getsy? What do you want? Let me know. So keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Oh, where did it go? Here we go.
To run for 17. Back he goes. Here comes Chubb. There goes the ball. Touchdown! Jones will walk at the left tackle. Time for Fields. Now he'll accelerate to get the first down. Great tackles, and he's off to the races. And he got a terrific block.
For every generation, it has started with the call to serve. Discovering the purpose and the belonging earned with the title. Learning to dig deep and push through adversity together. Defending our nation and its people. It is a life of great worth and reward. But Marines are never really finished serving. Their commitment comes full circle, visible in communities across our country. This is Semper Fidelis, always faithful, always Marine, marking a path for the next generation.
So I've come up with the family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311.
I mean, I'm not sure. Like I said, that decision is not in my hands. All I can control is, what I did do, and I gave it my all. So whether it's here or not, I have no regrets. Shout out to, you guys for, making my job a little bit harder. But just to the city of Chicago, love y'all. Appreciate the fans and the support from all the Bears, in case this is my last rodeo with y'all, and just appreciate y'all for everything. So thanks.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning at Sports Zone Chicago. That was Justin Fields yesterday after the game. Well, first, let me start off by saying this. It's Jeremiah's birthday, my buddy Junior. You guys know Armando Lara Jr. in the chat. His grandson, his second grandson, Jeremiah. It's his first birthday today. So I want to say happy birthday, Jeremiah. I love you. Theo loves you. All right. Just want to say a big happy birthday to him on his first of many. Hopefully he has like 97 birthdays. But happy birthday, Jeremiah, from me and everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago. I was trying to read into it. I was looking at his body language. I was looking because I don't know if, because here's what you hear. You hear all these reports. Oh, they don't know what they're doing with Justin Fields yet. They don't know. They don't know. They don't know. They don't know. What if they do? What if they do? And it just wasn't. And B, you're talking about no option saves you money to build a team like a quarterback on a rookie deal. Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, you got Justin for 2 years for about 15 mil. This season, 24 and 25. I know. Okay, so granted, you got to pay 20 million next year, 22, 23. It's still not a lot of money for a starting quarterback. All the while, you're getting first and second round picks, especially if you trade that deal or if you trade the number one pick. Everything's remember the one thing I've been saying, one of the possibilities is they're budgeting this. Like seeing how many first round picks they can get, how many second round picks they get. Okay, because now at this particular point, once you get a first round pick or a second round pick, you know how much they cost for the next 4 years, 50-year option if you want to pick it up. So what you're doing is you're laying all the cards on the table, which is why I said the Bears should pick up his 5th-year option. If you pick up his 5th-year option, well, now all the right, it's. I mean, we already know how much it's going to cost, but now it's still in. It's in play. It's in public. If Eberflus stays, I think Fields has a good chance to stay because of the fact that, there have been many of people who've said this, and I agree with it. What offensive coordinator is going to want to come here with a lame duck coach? So your job, you're basically going to come in for 1 year, and the job of the head coach is going to be on you. If you do well and Justin Fields does well, then the coaching staff stays. And if you don't, the coaching staff gets fired and you came here for 1 year. See, and here's the problem. He's not going to be worth 45, 50 million a year. He's not. He's not. Patrick Mahomes can demand that money because he won an MVP, Super Bowls. Other quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts got his team to a Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson, MVP. There's no hardware for Justin Fields to say, boom, this is my asking price because of this, this, and this. He might be 25 mil a year, 30 a year. And so if that's, let's see, that's 45, 50 million. Yeah, I don't see him. Yeah, but you're basing it on, because I'll tell you what, he's not going to get that anywhere else. I shouldn't say that. No, someone might give it to him. You know who might give it to him? See, that's tough. That's tough because, yeah, even though his agent is top notch, because here's the deal. And I know it only takes one, but the market for Justin, people want Justin. Now, do they want to pay him? That's another story. They're going to want to make sure they're going to test drive the merchandise. Now, whoever trades for him, if that happens, might say, okay, we got him, let's do this. But you also have to make sure you got a guy that can develop him. All right. It's interesting. You know, I'm not sure Dana got 160 for 4 years. Yeah, it's 40 mil. First of all, yes, New York screwed up. They never should have done. They screwed up the quarterback market. They screwed, because they're trying to get rid of that dude now. Trust me, I know Kevin Lauder from the Smoke Fellas is a huge Giants fan. And he wants to get rid. He's a good mind. But he's like, no, I'm done with that dude. But I don't think, I don't think he's getting 40. I don't. He doesn't have the body of work. Now, you have an argument. Saying, hey, first year was a lame duck coach. The next 2 years, I had Getsy. I will give you 25 mil. Maybe 30 mil, but not 40. I don't think he's in that 40 range. Now, again, you have you have him for 3 years. Literally, I mean, truth be told, you got him for 5 more years if you want. If you want Justin Fields, you got him for 5 more years. Now, if you bring in a new coach, I completely understand why you would bring in a new quarterback. Completely. And it would suck to see him go somewhere else with a guy who or with a team who fully devotes their resources to him and watch him ball out. Yeah, We need a elite quarterback, not bottom half quarter. But no, that doesn't tell you, because you know what he can do. He has to do it consistently. But how do you do it consistently? You need a coach. I believe Justin Fields can be an elite quarterback. He hasn't done it yet. Why? Because he hasn't had any coaching. He hasn't had the proper coaching. No, I'm saying you'll get a team to pay him like the Giants paid Daniel Jones. You think Daniel Jones is worth $40 million? No. You know it. I know it. Daniel Jones is not even worth anything close to 160, I should say. Well, 40 million or 160 million for 4. He's not even close to that. Not even close. But, like I said, all you need is one. You'll get a lot of people who pay him 25 to 30, 35. That doesn't diminish his value. It doesn't diminish what he brings to the table. It doesn't diminish it at all. What it does, it shows that he hasn't been maximized. But I mean, I get it. And here's the thing. If you go a new quarterback and you bring in a new play caller, man, and a good play caller, well, guess what? He starts off his NFL career with a good play caller, like C.J. Stroud. But let's see, and everyone's on C.J. Stroud's nuts, and I'm not hating on him at all. I'm saying, let's see how well he does when Bobby Slowick gets another gig, gets a head coaching job, and he's not there anymore. He walked into a beautiful system, a beautiful scenario, where he had a guy who developed him, coming from a tree that develops him. See? Well, I'm interested. I'm interested to see how. I mean, I get it. I understand why you guys are saying that. I understand why the Bears would do that if they go that route. But I'll tell you what. Vaughn, don't just throw numbers. Don't do that. Don't do that. You can't just throw numbers. 175 yards a game. If you understand how poor the play calling is, how poor the system is, how poor the receivers were, if you had access to the all 22 watch, and I'm not saying that Justin doesn't miss throws. I'm not saying that at all. But let's keep it a buck. All quarterbacks miss throws. But when you get receivers who get no separation, yeah, that's a big issue. Okay, you have to get playmakers. Remember, Darnell Mooney's not from this regime. Like people are looking at. See here, yes, the coaching is bad. When I see other okay, the coaching is bad. Don't just say, but the coaching is bad, and then go somewhere else. Say, but other ones are doing better. You can't do that. You can't do that. Because you give me all the other quarterbacks who are doing better, I'll show you coaches who put them in good positions to be successful. All of them do that. All of them cater their offense to them. All of them marry protections to route combos. All of them give their progressions very efficiently to a quarterback. This guy has not done that. So you can't say, oh, I know coaching is bad, but no. Coaching is everything. Coaching is everything, because if you don't have coaching, if you don't need them, then there wouldn't be any coaches. Let's not forget, Tua was about to be run out of Vaughn. This is not my heart speaking. This is facts. These are situations when Tua was about to get run out of Miami when he was with Brian Flores. Do you remember that? Tua was being called a bust. What happens? Mike McDaniel. Josh Allen was about to be run out of Buffalo. What happens? Brian Dable. Jackson was just running around, throwing the ball all crazy, running, not acting crazy. All of a sudden, he's an MVP winner. What happened? Greg Roman. You give me a quarterback that everyone thinks is good, I'll show you the person behind him who's making them good. So you can't just say, well, coaching, but. No, you can't do that. That's like saying coaching. If I teach you how to throw with the right hand, and then all of a sudden I get a coach that says, hey, I want you to throw with your left hand. Like, wait a minute. I teach you to tie your shoes the right way for 18 years. And then there's another guy who comes in and teaches you, I give you the bunny ears, but you do around, swoop, and pull. Well, it's going to take you a long time to round, swoop, and pull because you've been doing bunny ears for so long. Oh, you're saying it's too late. Okay, I go with that. It's too late for what? Like, I don't agree. And here's why. When you get a guy who has this talent, and the reason I believe his talent is different than other people's, is that he's played on the big stage. Like, you get guys who throw the ball all over the place and give all these yards and touchdowns and everything, and that's cool. But they've never made it to college football playoffs. They've never been in playoff games. Yeah, they might have been in a conference championship game, and there's something to be said for that. But the intensity for a conference championship as opposed to the college football playoff is something completely different. And for Justin to have done so well in the college football playoff, this kid's been a winner at every level. Okay? And what he has needs to be coached. And the way what he has needs to be coached differently than other people. Year 3 going to year 4, we still don't know what he is except a fantastic runner that still needs to work on his passing. I'm not saying he can't get better, but why is that too late? Because what's going to happen is if he goes somewhere else, see if you're in a system, let's say Justin Fields was in Green Bay. I hate Green Bay, so let me take something else. Let's say Justin Fields was in San Francisco. Perfect example. Okay? If Justin Fields was in San Francisco and same system for 3 years, and they realize, and he's still having these same issues with Mike Shanahan, with Brandon Ayuk, with Christian McCaffrey, with Deebo Samuels, then I am 100% behind you. 100% behind you, because now you're in the same system. And let's not forget, exactly, my point exactly, Brandon. San Francisco, they had this guy in the same system for 3 years, and he didn't do well. It's not that they thought he was a better prospect. It's that they thought he could run that offense. He couldn't. He couldn't. So you have to look at his first year. Don't just say, and this is where because now we're sounding like national media people, like you're regurgitating what national media people and others are saying without looking at the whole picture. First year, he had no offensive line. He wasn't supposed to start. For starters, they're supposed to sit behind, who was it? It wasn't Mike Glennon, it was the other dude. Dalton, the Red Rifle. Okay? He was supposed to sit behind Dalton. He didn't. Starts, gets destroyed, and then he got to learn a new system. In the process of learning a new system, what did they do? They took his defense away. It took his defense away. Now, is that an excuse? Do I need to show you what happens? I should have. Did I save it? I don't think I did. Son of a biscuit. I have to my phone, but I have to send it over. When a team gives up more than 27 points, all people but Patrick Mahomes have a sub 500 record. And during that 14-game losing streak for the Bears, the defense gave up 33 points. Not 27, 33. That's another touchdown. If you recall, there was a stretch of 5 games where Justin Fields and the Bears averaged 30 points in that 5 games. The record was 1-4. So you ask him to learn a new offense, a new system last year, but you gave him no receivers. You stripped away his defense. You still had an offensive line that was Tevin Jenkins didn't play a lot. I mean, was he left guard, left tackle, right tackle? I mean, the offensive line was in flux. I mean, if I'm lying, tell me I'm lying. Like all these things play a part. And I'm not saying Justin doesn't have things to work on, but this is things that he needs to be coached on. I preached, and I'm from the mountaintops, dude, you got to get your feet, you got to get back in your drops. But that is coaching, and that's allowing him to be coached to do that. See, the crazy part is, and I'm not saying, oh, you're going to go somewhere else and win a Super Bowl. Winning a Super Bowl is very hard, very difficult. Very, very difficult. But if you go somewhere else and flourishes, because someone took the time to keep him or to teach him, correct his mistakes, build his fundamentals, that'll be a sad day in Chicago. I'm not saying this because this guy has looked good and threw the ball all over the field. This guy's won. Yeah, he lost in a national championship game. Okay. But he's been on every stage. He's been on the biggest stage in high school and college. And we've seen what he can do. It's just it hasn't been consistent. Why? Because the fundamentals aren't there. They're not being instilled. They're not being drilled in his head every single day. And you can tell because he's still doing fundamentally unsound things. Let's see. These are things that I get you. Brock is good at anticipating. Okay. I can show you plays where Justin Fields is good at anticipating. It's just not consistent. Why? Coaching. Why? Running for your life. Why? Getting sacked 9 times a game. Why? Having one of your best offensive linemen have shit games like he did yesterday in Tevin Jenkins. Like, there's so many different things you have to understand that you have to bring into account when you're dealing with a quarterback. The coaching is one. If you get his feet right and get the ball out on time, guess what? His confidence grows. But they're not doing that. Because there's nothing in my estimate. There's nothing. You name me a quarterback in the NFL and tell me something that one quarterback can do physically that Justin Fields can't do. Physically, that he can't do. He can make every throw. You name the type of throw. Obviously, he can run. We know that. It's not okay. It's not excuses. I'm at okay. Okay. you can say you can't turn on the tape and say Justin is better than Caleb. I don't think Caleb is better than Justin. If anything, they're pretty, so if that's the case, then, like, how do you say that? Okay, well, what does he want? What have they won a Pac-12 title? Have they been in the college football playoffs? No? Okay, well, Ohio State won. They've won the Big Ten title. He's been in the college football playoffs. He's taken his team there. So it's not excuses. So what you're saying is, like when guys, that's the one thing. Like, look at the whole totality. If people want an agenda, cool, no problem. But look at all the facts. Look at all the facts. And you want to take heart out of it? Let's take heart out of it. We can take the heart out of it. And don't get me wrong, I love, this is what I love. I love talking to you guys. I love opinions. I love this. This is awesome. Wait a minute. Time out. So those are team stats. Ohio is stacked with talent on a level so if it's a team stat, then you can, so then the NFL is a team stat as well. The NFL is a team stat as well. So when you have defense points a game, you can't expect him to win. When the record, and which are facts, are everyone but Mahomes, all quarterbacks, when their team gives up over 27 points, they're all under 500. These are facts. This is not anything I'm making up. These are facts. So you can't use it's a team stat in one particular essence and not say it's not a team stat in another. You can't do that. You can't move the goalpost. And because you guys are giving it to me today, we're going to find this, and I'm just going to show you what I mean. And believe me, if I didn't think Justin Fields was that good, I'd be like, no, he's good, but blah, 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 whatever. And here it is. Here it is. I'll pull it up, and we'll show you, we'll talk to you about this. And you can't say, when you're talking about anticipatory throws and all this other stuff, I get what you're saying, but you can't just gloss over coaching or lack of. You can't do that, because that's kind of like everything. That's kind of like everything. You know, and if you've coached, and Brandon, you're coaching now, I know you said you coach Lil Man, then you understand how important coaching is. You understand, like, you can't put a guy, take his confidence away. Here we go. Take his confidence away and be like, well, you never did. You never did what? I'm not sure what you said. I never did. No, you're talking about team. No. Team. But when you're saying team sports, so that's what I mean. Like, if you're looking at, all right, cool. If you're looking at, if you have to say it's a team stat, then for every single person it has to go across the board. I'm not saying you in particular. I've been talking like a couple of you. So one might be for you. I'm just kind of mixing and matching. So here's the picture I wanted to show you. All right. So is this an excuse or is this a fact? Because a lot of people love stats, especially a lot of younger guys love stats. So during the past 2 seasons, the Bears have averaged 27 and 26.9, so 27 points a game. In their 14-game losing streak, 33. Look at the record of all the people when their defense has given up 27 points, not 30 or 33. Look at Mahomes is the only one, and that's not even going into this year, so I don't even know. But Josh Allen, 4-11. Joe Burrow, 2-8. Trevor Lawrence, 1-13. Aaron Rodgers, Hall of Famer to be, 17-45. Look, we just go down it. Hurts, 6-11. Tua, 4-9. Cousins, Stafford, Lamar, Wilson, Herbert, Tom Brady, the GOAT, 23-42. Joe Montana, 9-23. Peyton Manning, 19-55. So what I'm saying is you can't put a lot, or you can't put it all on Justin, and get him somebody. And if you like, we can go through all these people and show you who their quarterback guy is. Who their quarterback guy is and why they're doing so well. You can even throw, what's his name in there now? CJ Stroud. Why? CJ Stroud has Bobby Slowick. Bobby Slowick is from the Mike Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan tree. And we know that those guys are very good at developing quarterbacks. That's what I'm saying. Let me ask you, here we go. Let me ask you a question. You have a son. You have a son who's 16 years old. Okay. Hold on. Let's not get too crazy and start calling each other names and shit like that. That's not cool. All right. We can agree to disagree. That's if that's the case, that's cool. Well, let's not get crazy in the chat, or you know what I mean? Like, it's because truth be told, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, you know what I mean? And we're all passionate. We are. Let's just make sure we stay respectful. That's one thing I need to, and I got to put my foot down. We got to stay respectful. You don't have to agree with him or him or him. You know what I mean? Just making sure. No, I get it, B. I'm just saying everybody. You know, if you have a son, 16 years old, learns to drive a car, okay? And you give him a Ferrari, okay? And she drives it. And you get behind the wheel of that same Ferrari. Is it going to be driven the same? Is that Ferrari going to be driven the same. It has the same amount. It doesn't matter who's driving it. It still has the capacity to go 180, 200 miles an hour, doesn't it? Has the capacity to hug curves and turns, doesn't it? But who's going to drive that car? I don't want to say better, but who's going to maximize that car's ability? It's still a Ferrari. When you get a guy, and there's reasons why your son doesn't know how to drive the car. He's a little scared. He's this. There's reasons. You are a little different. You push it. You know how to maximize that car. Because especially if it's stick shift, that's a whole other world. The kid might not even be able to start the car or get into first. But it's about maximizing. But if it's automatic, sure, there's going to be some things he does well. Oh man, he got up kind of high. He got up kind of fast. He maybe hugged the curve a little with a little speed. But it needs to be driven properly. And that's the same thing with athletes. Their skill set needs to be maximized properly. And when you have an offensive line that gives up 9 sacks against the Cleveland Browns, or you have pressure constantly in your face because Tevin Jenkins had a shit game yesterday, and Nate Davis had a horrible game before he went out. No, it's not dictated. Old car's performance is dictated by its driver. It's what the driver does to the car. What's in the car is the potential of that car. This is what this car can do. This is what Justin can do. Can this guy, can our 16-year-old son get the most out of that potential, out of what's there? No. Can us who've been driving for 20, 30 years get more out of it? Yes. Can we does this guy, can he get the most out of our quarterback? No. We get another guy who can. We've already seen what Justin can do. We've seen it. We haven't seen it consistently. Consistently. That's what I'm saying. Again, I agree. Let me say agree. I understand if the Bears go another route. I understand it. I understand if they get Harbaugh and he wants Caleb. I get it. Exactly. We haven't seen it consistently. Why? Now, there are a plethora of factors. One, the offensive line. Again, you can't expect a defense to be torn down to the studs and still expect your quarterback to do well. You can't expect the quarterback with a makeshift offensive line and expect him to do well. You can't expect the quarterback with no receivers last year and expect him to do well. That's what I'm saying. So when people look at C.J. Stroud like, oh my God, C.J. Stroud's awesome. Listen, I am extremely happy for the young man. Extremely happy for him. I am one of his biggest supporters and advocates. I don't want to say supporters because you guys are jump on me. Oh, you're a C.J. Stroud athletic supporter. But he walked into a good system. Walked into a good situation. He walked into a man who knows how to drive a Ferrari. CJ Stroud's a Ferrari, and he's being maximized. That's what I'm saying. Because you can't just gloss over coaching. You can't. You can't gloss over coaching. Okay? Because the tools are there. And a lot of times, a lot of busts in the NFL, okay? There's been guys with tons of talent, and we've had tons of them. And why did they bust? A variety of reasons. And I guarantee if you look at them, a lot of them, if not majority of them, had to do that they were in the wrong system or they weren't maximized by their play caller. We're talking quarterbacks now. They weren't maximized. Okay? Coaching is teaching. So when you run it, and Mike Tomlin said it best, like, don't run away from coaching. That's your job. To get these guys to do this. And if he doesn't do it the way you want it, then you need to teach in a way that he does. And if Getsy doesn't want to teach, like, you know what you have in Justin Fields. You have one of the best athletes and best quarterbacks in the NFL. Now you just got to pull it out of him. You got to pull it out of him. How many times if you've been a coach, have you seen a kid like, oh my God, this guy's got everything? And some kids will do it. Some kids are easier to coach. Some people aren't. I don't feel Justin is a guy that's that's going to ignore coaching. All right, we're getting a little crazy here. Stop it. I don't know who you're talking with. Leo and Vaughn, come on, man. You guys gotta chill. Stop it. Come on, man. It's all fun. It's sports. You don't got to take it to that level, guys. All right. We just agree to disagree. That's all. You just agree to disagree. All right. One's not stupid. One's not this. We see things differently. That's all. Getsy has to go. Yes. Yes. So let me ask you this. If Justin was in San Francisco, would San Francisco be more scary with Justin Fields there with Shanahan behind his back? Would you think Justin Fields would be better than he is now? If he was in San Francisco, would Justin Fields be better now than he is now? Do you, guys? Just yes or no, yes or no. No, if he's just on the team. Got acquired via trade, especially if he was drafted and started his career there. Shorty, you're right. If he was drafted, if he started his career there and that's the only thing he knew was proper coaching. But what's the difference in San Francisco than here? Beside a stud offensive line, beside a plethora of weapons, and beside a head coach, beside a good play caller. You see what I mean? And I'm not saying Caleb Williams is shit or he sucks and he's going to die. You know what I mean? I'm not saying any of that at all. All I'm saying is when you have something here, develop it. When you have something here, do you think Brock Purdy would be an MVP candidate if he was with the Jets? Do you think he'd be an MVP candidate if he was with the Las Vegas Raiders? No, it's coaching. That's what I'm saying. And what I'm saying is this: the coaching matters. And coaching matters, look at Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's not the most talented guy in the world. He's not. He works hard, and he's got a great coach, and he's got great players. What happens when you have a great player with skill set who works hard? Because we all know Justin isn't a slacker. Justin is first in, last out. That's documented by multiple players and coaching staff. So this guy does the work. He just needs the proper guidance. And my thing is, don't give away this. Don't keep giving away good players. That's what the Bulls do. That's what my Bulls do. They keep giving away good players. They give away good players. And look at Lauri Markkanen. Look what happened. We kept Kobe White. Now, finally, and look at Kobe White. Because you develop them. There's a big difference from college to the pros. And who you get as a coach is huge. That's all. Exactly. Bobby Portis, another one. We didn't wait. He goes, he develops. And this is all I'm saying. That's my argument. If Justin didn't have this skill set, if Justin had Brock Purdy's skill set here, get rid of him. He doesn't. He's special. You've seen it. Not consistently. Why? Because it hasn't been for. Listen, the way you get it, when excellence is the standard, Mike Tomlin, the standard is the standard. If this is the only thing that you allow from Justin Fields, you better be scared. The NFL better be scared. But that's not what's being demanded from him. Coaches demand good coaches demand things from you. And he's not being coached well. I don't want to see him go somewhere else, get coached well, and now we have to get a new quarterback, start the clock over. And what about this defense? So what if it takes them 3 years? This defense, are they going a lot of guys going to fall off? And I know there are a lot of rookies, and you have some on rookie deals, which is smart. But we're going to see. Dude, this was awesome. 2 hours has come and gone. Hey, listen, this was fire. I love the passion about our Bears. All right. Make sure we calm down next time and stop calling each other names and all this other shit. Come on. It's not that serious. It's not that serious. All right. Be nice to each other. There's enough shit going on in this world. We don't need to be acting like dumb thugs. And you know what I'm saying? Like, be cool. You don't got to agree with everybody. All right. That's just the way the world is. We look at things differently, and that's fine. That's fine. All right. Let's just be cool, because I want this to be a safe spot. We can come, talk sports, talk our shit, all right, respectfully and cool, and go about our day. All right. Man, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank my guy, David Kenyon, for coming out and talking national championship game tonight. It's going to be awesome. Can Michigan's strength overpower the speed of Washington, the high-powered offense of Washington? We're going to find out. All right, so from everybody here at Sports Zone Chicago, man, I'm your boy, the SuperBack Shawn Sierra. We'll be back on Wednesday. Same bat time, same bat channel. Eric will be back with us on Wednesday. Something came up. He couldn't make it today, so he'll be back on Wednesday, and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. And you know what? And he and I don't agree sometimes. We don't agree. It's all good, man. It's all good, baby. But let's keep it like that. All right? It's cool. Let's be cool with everybody. You know what I'm saying? We just see things differently. We're passionate about our Bears, and there's no need for us to go down that road. It's not necessary. You know? Not necessary. All right? I love you guys. I appreciate the love and the support. And man, talk to your peoples. You know, spread this. Spread the word. Sports Zone Chicago. Shawn and Maya in the morning. All right? I'm going to replay this tonight at 6. Oh, no, I'm sorry, because What's Up Cuz is on tonight at 6. I'll replay it at 8, but I know the national championship game is going to be on, so most people probably won't watch it. But if you like, it'll be on YouTube. You can go check it out. All right. So for everybody here at Sports Zone Chicago, Elliot Baez, our executive producer, Clarence Council III, our social media guy, Steve-O, my producer, and my co-host in absentia, Maya Kai. I'm your brother, SuperBack Shawn Sierra. Hey, do me a favor. Make sure you let your loved ones know that you love them. Shoot them a quick text, especially if you're in a different city, different country. Shoot them a text, WhatsApp, whatever. Just say, hey, it's such and such. Just be nice. Just want to say hi. I was thinking about you. Just want to say hi. Hope all is well. Love you. We'll talk soon. All right. Use technology to keep in touch with your loved ones. We didn't have that growing up. All right, we had to make a long distance call. Trust me, mom's like, get your ass off that phone. You paying? Make sure that you let your loved ones know that you love them. It's important. It's very, very important. Guys, again, I love you and I appreciate the support. Excuse me. I appreciate the support. It's saying the next 3 quarterback decay will be upgrades. Stop it. Go back to your corners. Oh, man. Well, that's all right. Just hop in once in a while. It's okay. You can do it on company time. I'm just kidding. Good luck with the job. Congrats. All right, guys. I'm your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra. I will see you on Wednesday. All right. Have a great day. I got to go pick up the warden from CrossFit. I'm out.